All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bids for the 2025 paving projects and the possible rebid tar chip projects. Art,
I just got those, I got some documentation from
continue table.
T, cause I have to take a
Because
look at it.
again, Janice was unable to attend tonight for personal reasons, so we'll leave that on the table.
I didn't tell you last year.
Revision of Highland Village storm sewer for Scarmazy Home. That is already been.
Yeah, skip that, we talked about it already.
Okay. Risk control visit scheduled for July 1st, 8:30 a.m. Also, just kind of talked about in the other discussion. Discussion about hiring, that's, yeah, been talked about. Discussion of residents' concerns on COAL Bluff Road damage and traffic. There has been a lot of resident concerns dealing with COAL Bluff over the last month and a half. With large oversized vehicles that they can't get around. Now we apparently have a ad hoc kind of traffic light that's been installed recently. I had a customer come to my place and say that they were going down COAL Bluff, didn't notice that there was a new traffic light, and they ended up on a one-lane road with traffic coming at them because they didn't even expect this light. That's when I found out we had a light on COAL Bluff Road.
It's because they're plugging that well down there, aren't they?
You shouldn't be driving, you shouldn't be driving then.
What?
You shouldn't be driving.
Well, this light was.
I see that light every now and then, no problem.
Yeah. Well, nonetheless, the township never got notified that EQT was installing a light on COAL Bluff Road or the barriers or applied for a grading permit.
They should have. They
To
should have.
do this well, we didn't know about the plugging of the shallow well.
I'm fine.
Thanks, Dad.
So, I don't know what the resolution to it is with the, I don't know that they bonded the road for this project.
You've been in touch, I'm sorry, you've been in touch with that Yetzik?
Jessica, yes.
And what is the response been about the inquiry?
Well, I notified Jessica and Casey yesterday,
They should have come to the township.
that they should have
And they should have got
obtained a
permits and
grading permit and a road occupancy permit to shut down a travel lane and install a traffic signal.
How long is it going to be up, do we know?
I don't know that. I did get a phone call today from Casey Jordinas. He said his group is working on putting together the documents they need to apply for those permits, and they will.
And pay the appropriate fees also.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
So that's the update at this point. He said they'll probably have it to us early part of next week.
Go, Michelle.
Discussion on doing WESA billing in-house. This is Larry's item.
I have a lot of questions. I think the contract needs reviewed. What about notification? Who's gonna download their program into the computer to do the billing? Who's gonna do the billing? There was a plan last year that had to be changed. I think we need to have a, what do you call those things?
Informational meeting.
Informational meeting. Cross T's, dot I's, get a plan forward. There's time constraints in it, and reading the contract, Laura dug out. And, I think we have, of course, it'd be nice to be prepared, so we just slide into this thing when the date starts and nothing's disrupted. That's my goal.
Yeah, we have a thing where you have to notify them of our intent.
Yeah.
Yeah, our intent was to, start working on this by about this time this year, to
Right.
take it over at the first of the year.
Right.
Yeah, so,
I suggest that, what you should do, is make sure everyone gets copies of the current agreement.
so all of the agreements are in the file cabinet back
I
of the
have
road
the one that's dated
superintendent.
17, signed by Ms. Sargent. There was
It
one.
might be that, there is, every agreement we have with WESA is in the top file cabinet door in Ken's
Well, there was
office,
one
right at the
before, it was
beginning
like
left.
9, and this was the latest I moved on.
Well, in 9, they didn't do the billing, that was the intergovernmental agreement for taking the waste, but in 2000, then they signed another agreement to do the billing.
And that's fine, I'll look, I think I did the last one, but you can double check. contract. I do have a question on one of the, paragraphs in the agreement. And I thought at one time we had to pay a premium on top of what the actual usage was. And I think on page 9 of the agreement, I don't think that was justified
No,
from their verbiage. So that's how you were talking to Dennis about it tomorrow.
so if they don't get the lift station flow report, they charge the.
That was the big issue you and I had.
It was a big issue. Me, Suzanne, and yourself went down to WESA, and WESA said at that meeting that we had, that you need to read it for free.
I think
So-
the agreement needs some major change.
Yeah,
It does. But on, page 9 of 23, it says the meter shall be designed to operate without operator intervention or the need for routine verification or calibration. Which to me means it's automated, you know what, how we use.
we questioned that when we went down because of that, and they said that WESA used to for free go down and get that reading themselves. And then there was a report, after that we started, they did some sort of modification where they wanted someone else to do it. I don't know why.
And
That's what they said. They said that they no longer, the township no longer had them do it, even though it was free of charge. That they decided to use their own person to do it. And then, so they said, now we're stuck because if your
is
person
that
doesn't
written down
give,
somewhere?
they said it was. They
Yeah,
said
it
if your
says-
person doesn't give us the numbers and we don't have a way to go read it ourselves.
We's the attorney that said it to
That's
us.
what they said at that meeting.
How do we get the document from them?
It might be in there. We kinda got left there and then we decided we were gonna do our own billing anyway and, yeah,
Okay.
just didn't.
That's part of the information.
Yeah,
You gotta
they
put
said,
all
hey,
these
we used to
pieces
get those
together.
numbers ourselves, but the township wanted to do it, and now we're at your mercy to give us the numbers, and if they don't give us the numbers, they charge you full rate.
And that sucks.
Yeah,
They did it wrong. Well, they want.
That makes sense.
so now we pay somebody to do it, and we don't give the numbers on time.
We're ready to get it,
That's,
right?
yeah. Alright. Approval of bills, approval of the invoices from the escrow account.